Good evening, hello and welcome. You're with the news today. This is your primetime destination news, newsmakers talking points Thursday night. The big talking point, Rahul Gandhi has dropped what he is calling as atom bomb on the election commission. Has Rahul Gandhi finally provided hard evidence of alleged poll fraud in this country? Or is it a full journey more than an atom bomb? That's what we'll ask. Also, the tariff war. What is really Donald Trump's game plan? One of America's top foreign policy watchers, Ravi Agarwal, will be joining me for a special tonight. But the story that we are breaking this evening, India Alliance has been revived with a show of unity at a dinner being hosted by Rahul Gandhi in the national capital. Rahul Gandhi is hosting the India bloc leaders for the first time since the Lok Sabha elections of 2024. Rahul Gandhi in that meeting has shown a presentation, Democracy Destroyed, where he claims that there has been massive poll fraud involving the election commission. Rahul Gandhi has briefed the opposition leaders on his allegations of a vote fraud. The opposition now will march to the election commission office on August 11 to step up their campaign against the election commission and issues like the special intensive revision. Let's now go straight across to Amit Bhardwaj, my colleague, joining us live. Amit Bhardwaj, all eyes on Rahul Gandhi, who's the leader of the opposition, but since the Lok Sabha really, for the first time, we are seeing the India Alliance coming together, including parties left Trinamool, who are opposing each other in Bengal, Aam Aadmi Party missing. But otherwise, by and large, for the first time, we are seeing many of these parties coming together on one platform since, what, May 2024?
Absolutely right, Rajdeep. You know, there have been a lot of questions and complaints from different India bloc allies against Congress party that, look, why we are not coordinating and why physical meetings are not happening. And we are bringing you these visuals right outside from Rahul Gandhi's residence in the national capital, where right behind me, you could see the leaders who were part of this particular meeting. They are stepping out and now heading back to their homes. What we can certainly tell our viewers today is that the key issue in this particular meeting was the Democracy Destroyed PPT that was made by Rahul Gandhi today, public this noon, and he had made a similar presentation in front of the India bloc party leaders, including Sharad Pawar, Farooq Abdullah, Uddhav Thackeray, and that list is quite long. In fact, Tejasvi Yadav, Dipankar Bhattacharya and Mukesh Sahni of the VIP, all of these senior leaders from Bihar's India Gathbandhan or Mahagathbandhan are still inside Rahul Gandhi's residence.
And what about Aam Aadmi Party, Amit?
Taken up, but certainly, yes.
Aam Aadmi Party kept out? Was not invited?
Well, Rajdeep, Aam Aadmi Party has officially exited the India bloc. They are no more part of the India Alliance at this point in time. But they are with India bloc and larger opposition on the issue of SIR. So they were not part of this particular meeting. But on August 11th, that is on Monday, they would be participating in that India bloc march to the Election Commission of India, where the issue of Bihar SIR as well as the fresh allegations that have been made by Rahul Gandhi will be raised in front of the Election Commission of India. Back to you, Rajdeep.
Okay. Amit Bhardwaj providing us details of that dinner. We'll see whether the Congress is able to grab this opportunity, or is it a lost opportunity to bring the opposition together? Remember, today Rahul Gandhi is holding center stage because he dropped what he calls a vote scam atom bomb, where he has accused the Election Commission of possible large-scale electoral fraud in the 2024 Lok Sabha polls. Rahul Gandhi picked a constituency within Bengaluru's central Lok Sabha seat, providing hard data and evidence from fake addresses to duplicate voters, which he said is proof of how voter lists are being manipulated. The Election Commission has challenged Rahul Gandhi to make the charges under oath and file a formal complaint. Tonight, Rahul Gandhi versus the Election Commission.
Rahul Gandhi drops the atom bomb he has been promising for days. The leader of opposition, who earlier alleged irregularities in Haryana and Maharashtra assembly elections on Thursday, claimed large-scale fraud in Bengaluru Central constituency in the 2024 Lok Sabha elections.
Mahadevapura assembly thing.
The seat was won by BJP candidate PC Mohan by 32,707 votes. Rahul Gandhi highlighted the voting in Mahadevapura assembly segment of the constituency, where he said the BJP led by 1,14,046 votes.
They were stolen in 5 different ways.
In his presentation at the Congress headquarters in Delhi, Rahul Gandhi went on to allege a theft of 1,250 votes in the Mahadevapura assembly segment. He claimed this was executed in 5 ways. Charge 1. There were 11,965 duplicate voters in Mahadevapura.
Gurkirat Singh Dang appears once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, in 4 different polling booths in the constituency. He is the same name, the same address, the same person, 4 different polling booths.
Charge 2. Addresses of 40,965 voters were either fake or invalid.
House number 0, house number 0, 0, house number 0. Father's name, ILSDHFHUG, DFOIGOIDF, father's name. नहीं आप हंस रहे हो भैया, पूरा सिस्टम उड़ा दिया है, चोरी हो रही है.
Rahul Gandhi claimed that there were many instances of bulk voters at single addresses and put the number of such voters at 10,452.
House number 35, 80 voters live in this house. We sent people to check. They got beaten up. Here is 68 voters in a brewery, commercial establishment. Nobody lives there.
The leader of opposition claimed that there were 4,132 cases where the voters' photographs were either microsized or indistinguishable. Rahul Gandhi also flagged the alleged misuse of Form 6 meant for new voters.
So you go, you get into the Form 6, and then your name goes into the voter list. But what's really interesting here, now she uses this form twice. She uses it first on the 13th, 13/9/23, and then she does it again 31/10/23. So she becomes a voter twice, and then the beautiful thing is, show us the next slide, she actually votes twice.
The Election Commission reacted to the charges. In a statement, the Chief Electoral Officer of Karnataka asked the leader of opposition to make the charges under oath.
I'm a politician. Okay? What I say to the people is my word. Right? I'm saying it publicly to everybody. Take it as an oath. This is their data, and we are displaying their data. This is not our data. This is Election Commission data.
But he doesn't listen to us.
The BJP outrightly rejected Rahul Gandhi's charges.
Supreme Court has now. The claims made by Sri Rahul Gandhi and his team are completely bogus. They are targeting the Election Commission of India only to tarnish the image of the Election Commission of India.
The Congress is set to take out a protest march in Karnataka on Friday against the Election Commission. The party claims the Election Commission is trying to cover up possible voter fraud at a larger scale by denying it voter lists in machine-readable format and by deleting CCTV footage of voting. The fresh charges of voter list manipulation come amidst a special intensive revision of electoral rolls in Bihar, which will later be extended to the rest of the country. With Amit Bharadwaj, Bureau Report, India Today.
Let's raise the big questions on our talking point. Is this an atom bomb as Rahul Gandhi claims or a smoke bomb? Has Rahul Gandhi provided hard evidence of voter fraud? Should the Election Commission be giving a point-by-point rebuttal? Why doesn't Rahul Gandhi approach the courts or give a sworn affidavit? These are some of the questions I will raise. Joining me now are Dr. Ajay Kumar of the Congress, Syed Zafar Islam is of the Bharatiya Janata Party, O.P. Rawat is former Chief Election Commissioner. But before that, I spoke earlier to the man in the center of it. PC Mohan is the BJP MP elected from central Bengaluru, where Rahul Gandhi has alleged massive voter fraud. Mr. Mohan, Rahul Gandhi is alleging vote theft of more than 1 lakh votes in one of your assembly segments, Madhepura. What is your immediate reaction to the data that he has provided of alleged duplication of voters and voter fraud?
See, special intensive revision, what is happening in Bihar, he is opposing in parliament. Parliament is stalled for the last 4-5 days. The whole country is watching it. And, he is telling that, in Bangalore, in my Bangalore Central Parliamentary Constituency, voter theft has happened. 1 lakh votes have been added. How does he know that all of them have voted for Bharatiya Janata Party? And I have been winning this parliamentary constituency for the last 4 times continuously. People have blessed me and people have got faith on me. They have voted for me. I am grateful to them. And he is insulting my constituency voters also, I would like to tell Rahul Gandhi. And today what voter list revision is, special intensive revision is happening in Bihar. It should happen throughout the country, so that these kind of all this voters will be voter list will be clean.
No, but he is giving very specific examples, Mr. Mohan. He has given granular data of exact duplicate voters, has given photos that are allegedly invalid, how Form 6 is being misused, fake and invalid addresses of voters. Surely you will agree the Election Commission of India needs to investigate and give a point-by-point rebuttal. Don't you agree with the need for an investigation?
See, one thing, Election Commission has already given a notice to Rahul Gandhi. Let him reply for that. Whatever questions he has, let him ask. They will answer for it. And one more thing for voters, for BLA2s are appointed by all political parties. That is for every booth, BLA2 is appointed. Here the BLA2 has got all the right to verify the voter list. And if there is any disturbance in it, he can always complain to the Election Commission.
So you are saying he has to complain to the Election Commission, but you have gone on Twitter and said, and I quote you, Mr. Rahul Gandhi has insulted the people of Bengaluru Central, especially thousands of Hindus who voted for the BJP. To him, any minority-heavy seat must belong to the Congress. The problem is not fraud, the problem is the verdict. Why are you making this a Hindu-Muslim issue? Why are you bringing a Hindu-Muslim angle? Let the law decide. Let there be a proper investigation. No, Mr. Mohan, why bring in Hindu-Muslim here?
No. See, one thing, out of 28 parliamentary constituencies, why he is coming only and asking here? Why?
Sir, he is saying
why is
he is saying the Congress has done a 6-month investigation which is showing voter fraud. I am asking, should there not be a proper investigation done by the EC, sir?
No, if there is any fraud, on that time itself they should have complained. They should have complained to EC within 40-45 days of the election. They should have complained. After 15 months, what is the point coming and complaining now?
Okay. Okay, I get your point. There you
and
heard
whatever additional are there, how does he know that they all voted for Bharatiya Janata Party?
Okay, PC Mohan, you are the BJP MP from Bengaluru Central. I spoke to you earlier. I want to now get reactions. Ajay Kumar, you are hearing what the MP from Bengaluru Central is saying. He is saying, A, how does Rahul Gandhi know that this alleged fraudulence has been done to benefit the BJP? He is a 4-time MP. He has the support of people. Rahul Gandhi should have made these charges 45 days after the election. Now he is making it in 2025 August. Election took place in May 2024.
So you need to listen to me patiently. And the important point is, the election, how do you complain when you don't have, it took us 6 months. Have you seen the way the data was produced? First question is this fraudulent election commission, and I'm using these words and please mark it. It has lost the faith. It's not Chunav Ayog, it's Chori Ayog for the simple reason, and I'll give you data. Optical, the paper they give us is not, we are not able to read it. It is not machine reading friendly. It's on a paper format which you can't pick up any data and put it on an Excel. How do you analyze data across 7 lakh voters? Unless you use, so we have to first type every one sheet. put it into that data, and answer me a question. Hundreds of people with father's name XWXZ, HYYT. Hundreds of people with, thousands of people with address 0. Address 0. How do you justify it? And you, I saw your tweet, Rajdeep, and I thought you're normally sober, but I just want to correct you on that. Rahul Gandhi should give affidavit. The election commission should give affidavit. Because
but
this
you
is
can't,
data.
but you can't, but the point I was making in that tweet with Dr. Ajay Kumar, that if Rahul Gandhi is going to make such serious allegations of voter fraud, why not put this in a complaint, in an affidavit to the EC and take it to the
First
Supreme
question.
Court?
Yeah.
Doodh ka
No,
doodh,
one
pani
sec,
ka
one sec.
pani. They will say
No,
this
no,
is a press conference. Why
sec.
can't he give the allegations?
No,
The
one
court
sec.
is
No,
a fair point.
No, these strange guys in election commission. We have fought so many elections. I have gone and complained. We have given a complaint in writing. We are going in. We have given it in writing. We have given it on online. We gave it in writing for Maharashtra. Have they replied? My question to you is, what is this affidavit nonsense? The CEO of Karnataka is another thick-skinned individual talking like a Gestapo. Who gives an affidavit? And it's not the issue of affidavit. It's a question of insulting the leader of opposition. When we give a complaint to election commission, it has to be replied. Member of parliament gives it, political party gives it, and suddenly starts off. And have you noticed? They have not replied to a single thing. You tell me, why are you purposely brought a law to delete videos after 45 days? The moment when the High Court passed the order, fraud, election commission fraud. Why do you give us in papers where we can't put it onto? No, one
So
second.
you're claiming you want 1 minute. You're claiming you want digital records. You want the CCTV. You're saying don't delete the CCTV. Why can't you keep all this data digitally? That's the one.
And make this, and election commission has lost it. Make Dang, make the Srivastav, make Shakun Rani their brand ambassador. 5 voter IDs across 5 states.
Okay,
Make them the brand ambassador. Put India, the whole election process under
1 minute, sir. Let me explain it to our viewers. These are names which Ajay Kumar has given of people which Rahul Gandhi claims, which he showed in his presentation, have alleged duplicate epic cards or have addresses in more than one state and therefore are voting in different states. I want you to respond to this, Syed Zafar Islam, because Rahul Gandhi has said 5 types of voter chori. Duplicate voters in this constituency, 11,965. Fake and invalid addresses, 40,009. Bulk voters in single address, 10,452. Hundreds of voters in one address. Invalid photos, more than 4,000. Misuse of Form 6, under which 18-year-olds are supposed to, or first-time voters are supposed to fill in. 71-year-old voters are filling in. He says more than 30,000. Total is coming to 1,250,000, and he has provided data this time. This is not just an allegation, this is data.
Another, Rahul Gandhi has made this kind of claim, and it turned out to be baseless. Mr. Rahul Gandhi said that there will be an atom bomb, but the people of India is smiling and laughing at him because they still feel that he's a child. It's
very easy to use words about Rahul Gandhi, Pappu, child. My limited point. Are you challenging the numbers? Give me a straight answer. Are you challenging Rahul Gandhi's numbers and data this time?
You heard Kiran Rijiju. He said it is a bogus data. Let the election commission respond to validity of those data, whatever he is claiming. I mean, it is not for you or me to respond on the validity of the data. It is the election commission, which is the constitutional body. And
do you agree the election commission, Mr. Islam, has to give a point-by-point rebuttal? Should the election commission of India be giving a point-by-point rebuttal or not?
Election commission has already issued notice to him. He must respond. But all I'm trying to tell you that he has always said something, and eventually what he has demonstrated is nothing but is a bogus thing, baseless allegation he has made. Today, people are feeling that he is still a child because he was talking about atom bomb, but eventually it was nothing but a puljadi, a sparkler, nothing beyond that. Having said that, let me tell you a few things which is very important. See, this institution is run by the constitution, not by his frustration. I understand his frustration because he's losing his election election after election. He's losing and he is frustrated. I understand that because all his life he stayed with the power. For last 10 years, he's staying away from the power. So his frustration is now out in public. So this kind of the statement
Okay,
he's making, this kind of allegation making. But you must remember, these are constitutional bodies. These are the bodies which is run by the constitution, and constitutionally run body
they are
cannot
not
be
above the law, sir.
taken care.
No
No, I'm
constitutional
saying.
body is above the law. Let me
So
bring
then
in
he
OP
must.
Rawat.
No,
Sir,
no, no,
one
no.
minute.
No,
No,
just
one
a
minute,
second.
sir.
Just 10
Are
seconds.
you
10
saying they
seconds.
cannot be questioned? Are you saying election
No.
commission cannot be questioned in this country?
So Rajdeep, then if that was the case, then he should have instead of making this presentation, he should have approached the court with all this evidences, what he is showing this as evidence, because it is baseless, it's purely for
Okay.
allegation, making allegation, it is a bogus data. Otherwise, we were insisting him, not today, since the time he said that we'll drop a bottom atom bomb. Since then, we are saying that please approach the court. Please approach the
Okay.
court.
Okay,
Come out clean. Approach the
Okay.
court.
Okay, you're saying approach the court. Let me bring in OP Rawat, former Chief Election Commissioner, joins me at this moment. OP Rawat, how are you seeing the charges that Rahul Gandhi has made today? He has provided data-specific names where he's alleging several discrepancies, manipulation in the electoral rolls in a constituency in Karnataka. He's saying, do you agree it needs a wider investigation? Yes or no?
I think Election Commission always takes such allegations seriously. They see the evidence, they use that evidence to investigate thoroughly and ensure that a befitting factual reply is given to the complaining stakeholder. So I think election.
But do you agree this is casting a shadow over the election commission? Its credibility is under question. Do you agree that when the leader of the opposition alleges voter manipulation, the election commission needs to do more to save itself from a credibility crisis? Yes or no?
That is why Election Commission always takes these things very seriously, investigates and gives a factual reply so that all those issues are settled.
No, but do you believe that the election commission is facing a credibility crisis, sir? They haven't given any factual responses yet, point by point.
Prima facie, whatever facts are emerging, the public will believe so. But I am confident that Election Commission will take it seriously and then the clouds will clear.
Okay, so, Dr. Ajoy Kumar, the point is, when you go and make these allegations, and you're also making all kinds of statements about the Election Commission of India, it is a constitutional body at the end of the day. I repeat, isn't it better to take all this data that Rahul Gandhi and your party has gathered, take it to the Supreme Court of India and ask for a full investigation?
So this is the biggest nonsense I've ever heard in my life.
Why?
Sorry, Rajdeep. No, the nonsense, because a body is lying in a police station and the Thanedar will say, no, I will not see, it is not a body. You go and file a case in the court. Whose job is it to investigate? The Election Commission? And you're saying, no, Election Commission will not investigate this. Get the court to order you. That is why this is a fraudulent Election Commission, we are telling you. The job of the Election Commission was to call Mr. Gandhi. No, one sec, let me complete, sir. This whole BJP story, go to court. We were supposed to go in this democracy to the Election Commission when there is an electoral malpractice. That is the job of the Election Commission, not the Supreme Court. First, you delayed for 3 years, 4 years. That is why they want us to go to court. They don't want the Election Commission to reply. Second question to you, my friend. Please, Zafar Islam, I will start telling about Mr. Modi. Don't dare to speak on Mr. Gandhi again repeatedly, lose comments. Because I can speak enough on Mr. Modi and Amit Shah.
Let's keep a certain level. Let's keep a certain level. I'm asking you specific questions.
No, my question, no, Rajdeep, tell the BJP guys. You want me to open their mouth on Mr. Modi? There's enough we can say. So tell them to have decency when they speak on our leader, and I would expect the same to do on vice versa. Second issue on Mr. Mohan talking. Mr. Mohan says, you tell me out of 7 constituencies, even politically, 6 we lead. Suddenly 1 lakh vote. We all have the MLAs from that area. The question to you is,
sir, I can give you an example of a constituency in Maharashtra and Dval, where the BJP led in 4 of the constituencies, the Congress won by 1 lakh in another. You will have to stick to the data, sir.
So one sec. So you're not listening to the data. The data, what was the data saying? That the Form 6 for new voters, majority are 80-year-old, 90-year-old. Is there some geriatric campaign going on in India? Form 6 for new voters has got 70, 80, 90. One house has got 30 people, 40 people, one room house. One brewery's got 100 people. And then you say this fraudulent election commission is still the best election commission? You tell me, Rajdeep, how can you have one room tenement with 100 people in that house? How can you have a father's name is XY? Zafar Islam, answer that. My father's
Okay.
name in that voter ID is written XYZPX. Is that a fraud? It's a
You know,
fraud, no?
I've heard you. Zafar Islam, I want a final word because you see, this has now gone beyond just the usual allegations. This time, to be fair to Rahul Gandhi, he has given a detailed press conference. And he has given names, areas, buildings where there are alleged manipulation of voters, extra voters, fake addresses. Don't you think, as a responsible politician or the government of the day, whether opposition or government, for democracy's sake, election commission must have a full investigation and come clean with it, not press statements, but give point-by-point rebuttal to every charge made by Rahul Gandhi. Do you agree with that or not?
Rajdeep, let me respond to that. As I said earlier, and Mr. O.P. Rawat, also the former election commissioner, has also said that once you approach the election commission, it is the responsibility of the election commission to respond. That's what I said, that regarding the validity of these data, it is for the election commission to decide and respond to Mr. Rahul Gandhi. Having said that, I didn't say anything wrong about Rahul Gandhi. I said the people of India feel that he's still a child. He has not grown up because he's always make a claim. All this sentence of atom bomb and all, who claims this kind of made this kind of statement?
Sir,
or who
whether
claims
atom bomb or not, the data he has provided,
not
the need
serious.
for digitized data by the election commission, these are hard facts. The election commission, for the sake of the credibility of itself and the democracy, must respond.
Let me respond to that, Rajdeep. Let me just complete. All I'm saying, trying to tell you that he has made a presentation. If he doesn't get a response, he must approach the court. Having said that, you said that nobody is above the law. So that's why I suggested my friend from Congress that if you think that election commission is not responding to you, approach the court with the evidence what you have. We know that it's a bogus data he has, and he's only trying to mislead the people of India. And also,
It's your data.
Also,
It's your
that's 10
data.
seconds.
Your
10
data.
seconds. Mr.
Okay, I've run out of time. I've run out of time.
Dr.
It will now get...
Sorry.
Sir, I've heard
No,
both
Dr.
sides. I think we've heard both sides. I think all that we need is a point-by-point rebuttal.
Your
You see
data.
this...
Rajdeep,
No, it is now, sir. I appreciate my guest joining us. Let's leave it there. Let's leave it there. This is the Election Commission of India, and we hope that the Election Commission of India does a point-by-point rebuttal. Else, their silence will be seen by some as complicity. Let me then turn to the other breaking news we are getting at the moment. The National Security Advisor Ajit Dval has a short while ago met the Russian President Vladimir Putin. Mr. Dval meets Vladimir Putin at the Kremlin, remember, amidst Trump's tariff war, where India has been heaped on with tariffs because the Americans are claiming, or Trump's administration is claiming, why is India buying cheap oil from Russia? We're also told that Vladimir Putin will now visit India later this year. So that big meeting taking place in Moscow between Putin and Ajit Dval. Now, all of this, of course, is coming back against the backdrop of Donald Trump doubling tariffs on India, threatening India with even more punitive tariffs in the weeks ahead. Prime Minister Modi today spoke out on it. He did not refer to Donald Trump, but said he's prepared to pay a heavy price to protect the country's farmers, claiming that for him, national interest is paramount. Take a look at this report.
Hours after US President Donald Trump signed an executive order announcing additional 25% tariff on Indian goods, taking total tariffs to 50%. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has finally broken his silence, vowing no compromise on farmers' interests amid Trump's tariff salvo.
भारत अपने किसानों के, पशुपालकों के और मछुआरे भाई बहनों के हितों के साथ कभी भी समझौता नहीं करेगा। और मैं जानता हूं व्यक्तिगत रूप से मुझे बहुत बड़ी कीमत चुकानी पड़ेगी, लेकिन मैं इसके लिए तैयार हूं।
Trump's tariff blitz has sparked opposition's fury. Rahul Gandhi accused the Prime Minister of being silent for too long while Indian exporters suffered.
The government must take Parliament into confidence. If they are not in a position to take Parliament into confidence, they must call for an all-party meeting where they brief the leadership of all political parties what they propose to do, how they see these things panning out. Obviously, the relationship they claim to have with President Trump doesn't exist. They don't seem to have a special relationship with President Trump. And also, the back channels are obviously not working, because if the back channels are working, 25 would not have become 50, 25 would have been reduced.
Congress MP Shashi Tharoor called for counter tariffs to be imposed on the US.
In the next 3 weeks, our negotiators should make it very clear how unfair this is, and this is not acceptable. We are not a nation that goes around issuing threats. But in my view, apart from diversifying to various other markets, which is very important for us to do, we should also make it very clear to our American friends that if they are going to apply 50% to us, the day they do that, our current tariffs on America, which is only an average of 17%, will also go up to 50%.
Trump's former trade advisor Peter Navarro defended the move.
The fact that India is the Maharaja of tariffs. It's the highest tariffs in the world, charging on American products, and it's got high non-tariff barriers, so we can't get our products in. American dollars buy Indian products, and that sets in motion where those dollars finance a war, which then requires American taxpayers to pay for defending against the Russian armaments. So that kind of trade doesn't work. The president understands the connection between economic security and national security, so that was the bottom line there.
India currently trades over $120 billion annually with the US. But with tariffs now doubling, the road ahead may be rocky for both the sides. Bureau Report, India Today.
And joining me now is a very special guest. Ravi Agarwal is editor-in-chief of Foreign Policy, one of the world's leading global affairs magazines. He joins me from New York. Ravi, appreciate your joining us. What is your sense of what the US President Donald Trump has done with India over the last 48 hours, in particular hiking tariffs to 50%, linking it to India buying Russian oil? What is Donald Trump really up to here?
Rajdeep, I'll be honest, it makes no strategic sense to me. For the last 25 years, as is well known to you and your viewers, the US-India relationship has become stronger and stronger. And there's bipartisan agreement, whether it's the BJP in Congress, whether it's Democrats and Republicans, that this is a relationship that just made sense for both sides to improve and to make stronger over time. What Trump has done on many levels, whether it is cozying up to Pakistan, whether it is rupturing the India-US trade relationship, and now these secondary sanctions on India because of its purchases of Russian oil, it makes no sense to me for several reasons. But just on the oil question, most of all, Rajdeep, what India has been saying, which is that why are you targeting us specifically, given that China buys more crude than India does from Russia, number one, and so does Turkey, so does Japan also buy crude from Russia. But number two, if India didn't buy Russian crude, it would need to buy it from elsewhere, which would lead to a rise in global crude prices, which would then hurt Donald Trump at home more than anyone else, because he cares so much about cheap petrol for people to drive in the summer. So, Rajdeep, it genuinely doesn't add up. I would imagine that this is a negotiating tactic, but even that doesn't make sense, because in taking this hard line, he is worsening Indian public opinion against America and constraining the Prime Minister's options to even strike any sort of deal at this point.
You know, let me ask you this, Ravi. Is this some kind of a personality disorder that we are dealing with here? Because Donald Trump could have done this out of a fit of pique, some believe out of frustration with India. Has something suddenly changed for Donald Trump, who seemed, or so we thought, to have a good personal equation with Prime Minister Modi, for him to turn on India to the point where he calls India a dead economy?
So these are great questions to ask. I would be lying if I said I had clear answers. One can only guess. I will say this, Rajdeep. There's a big difference between Trump 1 and Trump 2. Trump 2 is less likely to have people around him who understand the intricacies of foreign relations, of geopolitics, the niceties of diplomacy. So that's one thing. There are fewer people restraining Trump from his worst instincts. Two, Trump is not ideological about many things. And we've seen this in the way that he's flip-flopped on Russia in recent weeks, for example. But Trump is, I think, ideological on the issue of tariffs. There is now so much evidence going back to the 1980s that Trump genuinely believes that free trade is bad, that America was being ripped off by the rest of the world, and that Trump wanted to impose tariffs because he thinks this will rebalance the American economy. He believes this despite the disagreement of most mainstream economists in the United States and around the world, which is why I say this is ideological. It's not rational, it's ideological.
How then do you think should India respond to someone like this, someone who you suggest is waging now an ideological crusade on tariffs? How does India secure its national interests?
Very difficult question. I don't think India's done much wrong so far. Look, and India's also been very open over the last 3 years about why it is purchasing Russian crude. It's been open to its own people about needing to purchase the cheapest crude out there. It's been open to the Americans as well. The Biden administration knew that this was happening and they were okay with it because they too needed to control the global price of oil. So none of this should be a surprise. And this is why New Delhi is as confused as it is. In terms of what India should do, look, if India continues to buy Russian crude, the hit to the Indian economy is not as severe as some analysts have been suggesting. I think the difference between what India is paying for Russian crude and what it would pay for, say, Saudi crude is, a 10 to 15% difference. Yes, that will hurt. Yes, it will cause pressure at the pump, but I think the Indian people would be likely to be willing to sustain that longer term. But India could also switch, and it could buy oil from other sources over time, signal that it wants to do that to Trump, and watch what happens in the markets. That will lead to a massive surge in the price of crude, which could then lead Trump to pivot. And that brings me to my last point. Sometimes, Rajdeep, waiting and just doing nothing might be the smartest ploy because we know that Trump often pivots on issue after issue. So maybe just keeping a cool head, not saying anything rash, knowing that this could revert to normal, and waiting and watching.
You said Trump can pivot at any time. I want to know, what do you think made him pivot on Russia, for example? Till a few months ago, there was a sense that Trump and Putin were going to trying to strike a deal. The war in Ukraine would get over. Now you've got Trump railing against Russia and Putin setting deadlines. What went wrong? Because that seems to be one reason why India is facing the backlash.
So this one is a bit easier to explain than your other questions. I think Trump set himself expectations that were unrealistic. So, on the campaign trail, he said, I can solve this war in one day. I can, forge a peace agreement between Ukraine and Russia. I know the Russians very well. I know Putin very well. So he set up all these expectations. It has been 7 months. He invested a lot of personal diplomacy, the diplomacy of his private envoy, Stephen Witkoff, who's met with the Russians several times. Trump also dressed down Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky in the Oval Office. So Trump used up a lot of diplomatic capital and energy to make this happen, to make a peace deal happen, and nothing happened. And over time, over the last 2 months, we've seen him lament in public and private that Putin is dragging me along. Putin is making me look bad. And we know that there are few things Trump hates more than being made to look bad. So I think the switch that we're seeing on Russia is Trump recognizing that everything that's happened so far, trying to give Russia the benefit of the doubt, trying to give them the deal they want, it ain't going to work. It's going to make him look bad. And therefore, the alternative is what he needs to pivot towards. But here too, Rajdeep, we should be careful. Trump is being tough on Russia, sure, rhetorically. We haven't seen any real actual measures. And we're kind of back to where we were roughly a year ago under Biden. And that too is a difficult path. So let's say you are going to be tough on Russia. Well, then you also need to arm the Ukrainians. And that's going to cost money. And that's going to cost diplomatic capital in Trump's own base, which doesn't want to arm the Ukrainians. So it could be that Trump may pivot again. We just don't know.
What we also don't know, Ravi, is why is Donald Trump, and I want a real answer, why has he 29 or 30 times insisted that he is the one who got a ceasefire between India and Pakistan? For some reason, there is a belief in India that he wants New Delhi to desperately acknowledge his role in somehow ending Operation Sindoor. Do you think that that's a factor here? Pakistan has already said Trump should get the Nobel Peace Prize. Should India also be playing to his ego in some way and trying to give him credit for the ceasefire after Operation Sindoor?
I think he wants that. Yes, Trump likes flattery. He loves to be known as a peacemaker, as a deal maker. He's written a book called The Art of the Deal. This is something that is, fundamentally something he cares about. I think the Pakistanis, like many others, the Ukrainians have done this too, were very clever, I think, to say, Mr. President, you should win the Nobel Peace Prize. That form of flattery is something a lot of leaders, a lot of CEOs have started doing. It's completely not genuine. It's duplicitous almost. But it seems to work with Trump. So that's why we are where we are. It is petty as well. Look, India, as you know better than anyone, Rajdeep, has invested so much diplomacy over the last 20, 25 years, telling successive American administrations, don't interfere in our internal affairs. We won't interfere in yours. Don't talk about Kashmir. Don't hyphenate India with Pakistan. This is so well known among, Democrats and Republicans on the Hill. It is so well known among any staffers who deal with South Asian issues in the White House, at the State Department. The problem is, Rajdeep, Trump isn't listening to them. So what we're seeing is Trump on his own. I'm absolutely certain that there are people in the State Department who've sent him memos saying, don't do this. He's not following their advice, which is why this is so complicated for Indian diplomats and for anyone who believes in the diplomatic architecture anywhere in the world.
Trump's equation with China, Ravi, and his mysterious relationship with Pakistan. Should India be worried about what Trump seems to be doing at the moment with China, carrying on negotiations with them, hosting Asim Munir in Pakistan? Is all of this somewhere affecting India's interests in your view?
Look, Pakistan is a strange one. US-Pakistan ties are not in America's strategic interests. So I'm befuddled that he met with Munir, General Munir. I'm befuddled that this has come up as much as it has. I've heard all the rumors about, why these meetings are taking place. I have no evidence or proof to suggest that there's anything wrong afoot here. I'll just say we have to wait and watch this space. I believe in strategy. Strategically, America should favor relations with India, not Pakistan. Pakistan is a tiny economy in terms of counterterrorism, in terms of strategic interests in the region. There's not much there. Maybe Iran is the one thing Pakistan could help America with, but there's not enough there. China's a different case. I think there are growing signs that Trump may want to travel to Beijing to meet Xi Jinping for a big military parade there. I believe that that could be setting the groundwork for a broader normalization of ties between the two sides. That's entirely possible. And I don't necessarily think that's bad for the world. I don't necessarily think that's bad for India. A lot of good things can come out of it because remember, US-China tensions, were they to get really bad, that is not good for any country on earth. Most countries in the world count India, count the United States and China as among its top two trading partners. We all need them to get along. So personally, if Trump is opening some avenues to talk to the Chinese, let's encourage that and see where they land.
In conclusion, did India then misread Donald Trump, or has the world actually misread Donald Trump 2.0?
I don't think India's misread Trump fundamentally. I think India may have had a very good equation where Trump won. And maybe India is now coming to terms, as the rest of the world is, with the fact that Trump too is a very different challenge. Trump too isn't listening to his advisors. Trump too has fewer advisors to begin with. Trump too is looking at a legacy now. Trump too is just more autonomous. He's gotten rid of many of the checks and balances that existed before. Trump too is also much more prepared than Trump one. He knows what didn't work the first time around for him and has come in with a plan. He's come in with all the things he's wanted to do for the last 4 years. So am I going to say that India and other countries have underestimated or wrongly assessed Trump too? I think that's harsh to say that, Rajdeep, because none of us expected this to turn out the way it did. But it is now, and we have to recalibrate.
Final question, what do you then expect in the near term? There was much talk about trade negotiations now taking place later this month, a 21-day window that Trump has given before possibly additional tariffs could set in. Do you believe an Indo-US trade deal is still possible by October end?
I do. A mini deal of some sort is always possible. I will always favor calmer heads, negotiation, appealing to Trump's interests, appealing to mutual strategic interests. And we shouldn't forget in all of this, and I say this to you, but I say this to everyone watching, we shouldn't forget these are the two biggest democracies in the world. There are immense people-to-people ties. There are more than 3 million Indian Americans in the United States. These are two countries with growing defense ties, trade ties, technology ties. This is not the moment to throw that out of the window. This is the moment for both sides to appeal to the mutual interests they have and to the shared future they could have, and for the partnerships they could forge in the Indo-Pacific and more globally. Calmer heads need to prevail, and I think Trump will eventually come round. He is ultimately not completely irrational.
Okay. Ultimately not completely irrational. Famous last words, Ravi Agarwal. Always a pleasure talking to you, for giving us that very fine worldview. Thank you so much for joining me from New York. To an India Today impact, a rare admission. Goa's Chief Minister Pramod Sawant has acknowledged, as India Today or News Today reported a couple of weeks ago, that the state has been operating without a Lok Ayukt or an anti-corruption ombudsman now for over 8 months, leaving 16 corruption cases in Goa in limbo. Today, speaking on the assembly floor in response to a question from the Congress legislator Carlos Alvarez Ferreira, Sawant admitted that no successor had been appointed since Justice B.K. Debbarman stepped down in December 24. Despite claiming that the government is trying its level best, Sawant has still not provided any timeline for filling this critical anti-corruption post. This means that several investigations of misconduct by public officials at a time when several questions are being raised in the coastal state have not been addressed. The opposition continues to argue there that the absence of a Lok Ayukt has undermined the very system that was designed to provide an independent oversight. Is the opposition claiming that this vacancy is intentional? This was an issue we had raised on News Today. The Chief Minister has now admitted to what we said was an institutional lapse.